Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEB Reviews, and today we are taking a look at Seasons Change by Scotty McCreery. Let's get to it. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of country. I don't dislike it by any means, but I've just never really dug into it, honestly. I have heard some of the classics, of course, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, those kind of artists. But I never really, dug into country. I definitely have into folk, but not quite as much into country. And so I am kind of a newbie here. I don't know a ton about country. But I want to try to expand my horizons. I want to try to talk more about other genres, just in my typical rock, pop, that kind of area. So I wanted to kind of expand and go someplace else. So I wanted to look at this album. And so, yes, maybe my analysis is not going to be quite as good as someone who's just really into the genre, but that doesn't mean that I don't have opinions and definitely know what's good and bad. Looking at this as any other album, I will. That's how I'll view it, not as a country album. There probably are some small nuances that could be said about country albums and what this is either lacking or has. But I think that as a whole, it should be judged on the same criteria that I would a pop album, a rock album, a hip hop album, anything. I think it all should be on the same level and the same criteria. So, what did we get from this album? Honestly, Scotty McCreery has a decent voice. He can definitely hit some very low bass notes, and it is impressive. He has some vocal chops. The music is alright, while a little basic. But pretty much everything I found in the lyrical content is just everything I've ever heard of on mainstream country radio. It's cliches about being barefoot, beer, trucks, girls, anything along those lines. Now, yes, he does not objectify women or anything. It is towards a woman that he actually likes. A lot of these songs is kind of a love song or talking about old times, reminiscing. But that just seems like a lot of what that bro country kind of subgenre is. And while I hate to classify him into that vein, because honestly, I was rooting for him when he was on American Idol, because yes, I did watch American Idol in his season. And I liked him, and I thought he was actually really good. And so I thought that this album might actually be pretty decent, but it just doesn't have any of the lyrical depth. Nothing packs a punch. It contains every cliche in the book. It rhymes sunshine with your eyes, red light, yellow light, green light, go. And it just has every single cliche that I could possibly think of, which is epitomized in Season Change's title track and the first track. Every single cliche I could think of for a country song is epitomized in that one song, and it's so unfortunate to hear. Assuming the lyrics were different, a little deeper, or at least not offensively cliche, this wouldn't be a terrible album by any means. I mean, it's nothing too fantastic. Scotty McCreery has a good voice, but not a standout voice, I'd say. It doesn't really stand out against the better country singers, I feel, like Chris Stapleton even. Or even while many people don't like them, even like Florida Georgia Line has a more distinct vocal style, I'd say, than he does. His pretty much thing is that he can go really low. And it is good. I don't mind it. It's fine. But then we get extremely basic instrumentation, and as I said, of course, the lyrics cliched, not inspired, and just it gets offensive to a point. I mean, we get a song called Barefoot, and that is the epitome of a cliche in country music. And I'm not insulting country music. While I said I have not listened to much of it, I definitely do like it. I don't have whether I like it or dislike it. There are strong points and bad points. And some of the artists are really good. I mean, of course, everyone loves Chris Stapleton, or at least the people that have explored him. He's a fantastic country artist, but then we do have artists like Luke Bryan or something that a lot of people don't like because he is very basic country. And so while I'm not an expert at country, I do realize that these are the cliches that are found in country a lot. Even just from people outside of the country realm will say, oh yeah, we'll sing about beer and trucks and all that kind of thing, and it just, unfortunately, he just stokes the flame there. And that's the problem. I respect country. Again, I've never super dug into it, but I don't dislike it. But I hate that he's just fanning the flame for all those cliches when he should be an artist that has quite a lot of potential. He does have a really low voice, and he seems to be a genuine guy. While I say all these things about the actual lyrics, they seem to be coming from a genuine place. They don't seem to be fake or phoned in. It seems like he actually feels these ways. It's just he says it in the most cliche and overused fashion that's possible. I think that he had a lot of potential. Even just if I took away if all the words were just muddled together and you couldn't understand anything, just the pitches, it would be okay. It's just those lyrics are so cliched, and it's really unfortunate. Other than that, there's not really much to say. I mean, there's no really bad or good tracks. Maybe Seasons Change, which I said it just epitomizes all those terrible phoned-in lyrics I was talking about. It definitely has so many of them that it does wear it down. But some of these songs are catchy, really fun, uplifting, and I do enjoy them. It's just they have a lot of things holding them back. But as I said, there's nothing really amazing. There's no one song I can point to and say this is what it should have been. And there's nothing that I really can say that this is what it should not have been. They're all just middle of the road, really. There's nothing too interesting here. Overall, honestly, Scotty McCreery had a lot of potential, and I think that he is a very genuine guy, so it's even more disappointing whenever the album that he releases is just so cliche and so overused and doesn't do anything and fans the flame for those stereotypes and those barriers that keep people from actually getting into country. That's a lot of it. That's why this genre is one of probably the most hated genres and also one of the most loved. So many people love it because they've explored it and found the actual good parts of country, not the bro country, not the Florida Georgia Lines or Luke Bryan's. But then there are the Florida Georgia Lines and Luke Bryan's that people know of and people recognize, and they listen to the music and hear a bunch of really normal country sounding cliches with barefoot, trucks, dirt, anything along those lines. And I hate that an artist who actually seems very genuine and not just in it for the money, obviously I'm sure he wants it, but he doesn't seem in it for the money as I feel other artists in this vein are. I just hate that as someone who could have actually released something very heartfelt and genuine and had really good lyrical depth, he just missed it. It's not a terrible album by any means. Like I said, instrumentation's fine, while a little basic, but that's fine. The vocals are fine, the production's alright, the concentration of the album, the overall feel sounds pretty good. I mean, it all fits together, it's very cohesive, but it just is torn down by those terrible overused cliches. And that's why I'm going to have to give this album an unfortunate 4 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you guys think of this album? Please let me know down below. Also, is there anything I could do to improve my presentation? Or any albums that you'd like me to check out in the near future? Please let me know. Besides that, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys later.